Hello everybody, I scored a pretty nice new old stock here today. It's my favorite finish, bright brass in pecan. Mint in the box. These are probably a 9.5 out of 10. There's some minor scratches on the blade irons. What's interesting is these don't have any weight numbers on them. But I weighed them. These are 10.6 ounces and these are 10.7 ounces, so I'm going to mount them opposite each other and see how balanced they are. These will be going on the fan in my bedroom because I'm using those for another project and I think they will look better. And they're pretty close, a little bit darker than the doors, but they do look nice in this house. So what we'll do is get these installed and see how they do. Okay, I've got one installed. Note the manufacturing differences. This is the older style. It's more flat in this area than say this one, which is the one this one's more rounded here. And this section's a little wider. So this blade will be next. And here's another quick look. I got them polished up. They look real nice. The wind coming in from the window is causing the fan to go in reverse. Very nice and shiny. The blades are out in the workshop and they will be getting these Chestnut Brown blade irons. Actually, those were the ones that came with these blades, so these have come full circle. I've got the other three all painted. I've got a end cap all repainted. This is the correct Chestnut Brown for Hunter. It's a couple days later, and I believe I have all the parts to make a complete Hunter Original 22272. All Chestnut Brown model. Need to do a little touch up on this, which is not a problem. Got a plastic canopy. Gonna go ahead and do my low speed like that, so I'll have a high, medium, and low. There's the switch I'm going to use. I got that one out just in case. I just wanted to do 2-speed for now, but I think since I have everything, I'll go ahead and do 3-speed. There's some screws to mount the blades to the flywheel, because it didn't come with any of those. Of course, this got damaged in shipping. I couldn't straighten it out with what I've got, but I did have a spare one in my parts bin. I borrowed this rubber bushing off my score, this morning's score I found on a local listing. Of course, we got a gold tassel pull chain. Got the bearing cleaned up. Got some screws for the vent plate and I believe those will work on the canopy. So I'll give you a sneak peek at my score for this morning. It was from somebody who actually knew what they were talking about. See, the rubber bushing is borrowed on the other one. I've got one on order. It's a 79 36-inch Hunter Original 22303. Basically, the description said we bought this new in 79 from a local faen company, and it worked when we took it down. So I thought, well, that price is hard to beat. And for 79 you got a plastic switch housing and a plastic canopy. Our focus of this video is this brown 22272, which is from 1980. Which I am not going to repaint this one. It's in good shape. It's got a little bit of staining right there, but that's not going to be noticeable. This is about to get primed, and for 1980 they painted the, you know, it's painted brown, same color as the motor. So this one's going to get repainted brown. Alright, I've got the flywheel painted, and it is painted much better than it would have come from the factory. Got the flywheel and the bearing assembly installed. Next I will put the vent plate on. Vent plate is installed now. We're all wired up. Getting closer. It's all wired up and the motor is completed. The only thing that stands out that one from 1980, it would be that the screws were painted brown, or whatever color the housing was at the time, white, black, or brown. And I like my screws and hardware like that left natural. So that's what we got. I think it looks pretty sharp. I will now hang it up. We'll see what it looks like. Here's what it looks like hung up. There's a little gap there, but that won't be noticeable from when it's hung up correctly. Guess now would be the time to test the motor and make sure it runs properly. I'm aligning the blade irons now. I'll show you how I do mine. I just take a tape measure and go around and see where they generally sit, and then adjust the ones up or down, very, very carefully bending on these irons because they will break, till I've got them all at the same mark on the tape measure. And then I go to the upper side of the angle and do the same thing there. I saw Emerson Colley do this alignment with the blades off in his shop fans years ago and thought that was a good idea. So I'll do that, and then I also, out in my workshop, it hangs where I can put the tape measure down on that countertop and just sit here and actually measure them out It makes it go a little bit quicker. It's still tedious, but it looks pretty good when it's done, having them all even. We'll see how it's looking. May need a little more tweaking, but I think it's getting pretty darn close. Looks like I got a bottom one a little bit out of alignment yet, so I'll get the old tape measure out and look it over again. Just make sure it's just right. Let's check the alignment. I tweaked on them a little bit more. I'm looking at 27 centimeters at the lower. It looks pretty good, and we're, let's see, just a hair under 30 centimeters on the upper. That one seems like it's just a tiny bit low. It looks pretty good. Power it up and see what it looks like. That looks pretty good to me. Let's say we're pretty well spot on. So now I'll cut the voltage down and just kind of let that run and let the oil circulate in the bearings real well and get it all settled in, and then I'll put the blades on it. Here's what it looks like from underneath. I've got it on 37 volts. Let me crank it up. No, 47. We'll crank it up to 50 volts. And this is on low speed. That's high. Factory low or medium. And then low with the capacitor. 12 microfarads across the low speed winding. I forgot one thing. I'm going to go ahead and paint that wire brown again. Probably that zip tie as well. So let's give it a demonstration. Going to start out on low.